Hello, hello, hello. Marietta here. For all of y'all that know me, hello, how are you doing? And for all of y'all that don't, please join this family, subscribe, hang out. You're going to enjoy this video. This video is going to be entitled Country Girl versus City Girl. It's just a video that's a tale about how one can be born in one place and still be able to function in another. Just because someone is born in the city does not mean they can't function in the country. And just because somebody's born in the country don't mean they can't function in the city. So we need to talk about that tonight, because I've had a lot of people come at me and ask me, where am I from? They say I look like a city girl, but yet I'm from the country. I was born and raised in the country in a small town in Dover, Delaware. Dover, Delaware, for those of y'all that know, you can be in it and you can be out of it. You just right straight through it. Don't even know you've been there if you don't know where you're going. But living in the country, I was taught a lot of things. When I lived in the city, let's start with there. When I lived in the city, it was a lot different, because it was like a lot of traffic, a lot of noise. It was always something to do. You know, the stores were very close. Everything was close-knit. You could walk out your door and people would be shopping. I lived in Virginia. I've been in New York. I've been to Jersey. I've been to a lot of different cities, and the cities are just always the hustle and bustle of what is happening in that city for that period of time. So as you begin to move through the city, you begin to get used to, and you begin to get accustomed to the noise. You get accustomed to the way they dress, the way they walk, the way they talk. A lot of the finer restaurants are in the city. So therefore, when you get a chance to, some people use public transportation, they ride the bus, and they go through a lot of things in the city. Sometimes you see a lot of high crime areas, and sometimes you see areas that are just absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. Even in the city lights, all the entertainment that goes on in the city is sometimes just a beautiful thing. I have no problem with the city. It's just the fact that I am a country girl, and I prefer to live on the outskirts of the city in the country. Why do I prefer to live outside of the city in the country? Well, for one, I like the fact of the stillness and the peacefulness. I like the fact of it's not being so busy. You don't hear a whole bunch of police sirens going on. I don't hear a lot of people fighting all day long. I can get to where I need to be, and it's not much traffic. I can go to the local store and get in what I need and get out. So when I think about the fact of where I have lived, and I know some of y'all may have lived both places as well, country and city, and you can actually function in different places. And if you have, please type it in the comments. I would really love to hear your story about the difference between what you experienced living in the city opposed to what you experienced living in the country. But yet and still, we both, country women and city women, we both have something in common. And what we both have in common is the fact that, first of all, we are women. Second of all, we know our worth, and we need to respect each other and expect each other in their proper place. Just because I come from the city don't mean that makes me a chance to look down on you because you come from the country. Or because you're from the country, I should not look down on you because you're from the city. Somehow we should find a mutual ground and be able to still love each other and still be able to work and coexist in the same area. And so we have to do so. Because a lot of people don't understand that when you're two women and you're fighting back and forth, and it seems like there's a lot of that goes on in the black race, where the sisters can't seem to be able to get together and be able to love and look out for one another. And that's something that we have to change. We really need to try to change that, going ahead, moving ahead, and as we begin to grow in the word, and as we begin to allow the word to be able to penetrate our spirit, just actually get in us to the point where it's just actually engulfed in us, and we realize that we're not each other's enemy. We're not the fighters, because first of all, I was thinking of over here in Ephesians chapter 6 and 12, where it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. So I have nothing against you, my sister. I have nothing against you because you live in the city. Or if I live in the country, we should not be fighting amongst each other. We should come together and try to help one another, try to, find some type of way that we can be our sister's keeper. If you need something, I need something, or we can come together, we can share. This is we've got to get to a point where we can actually look one another in the face and we both look at each other in the same way and we can say, I truly love you, my sister. If there's anything I can do for you, and we truly can find a common ground of respect for one another, even if you're from the city and I'm from the country, because we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but there is some spiritual wickedness that's going on in high places that is causing these situations to look like it's you fighting against me fighting against you. We can't coexist in the same place. But today, I come to you to let you know, my sisters out there, I'm speaking to the queens out there right now. I want y'all to know that I love y'all. I'm from the country. And I've lived in the city, but I'm really truly a country girl at heart. And I want you to know, all my sisters to know, that I love you and I need you to survive. I need you to know that we are a force to be reckoned with, and we are the queens. We are the salt of the earth. We are the ones that are walking this earth with all this beautiful melanin, and yet we're fighting against one another. But yet each and every one of us have beauty. You take a lot of us and you put us together, you've got nothing but a river of beauty, straight beauty. So I want some of you sisters to look in the mirror and realize that this next sister is your sister. She is your sister. She may not have come from your mother or your father, but through the eyes of God, she is your sister. And we got to learn to be able to come together and love one another and to be able to build a community where we can actually talk and actually really truly mean what we say and say what we mean. Because we don't have to have a lot of backbiting, a lot of envy, a lot of strife. Because truly we are the most beautiful women on the planet. I want y'all to feel this. I want you to get this down in your spirit. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror when you begin to say your prayers and you begin to thank God. Thank Him for how He created you. Thank Him for the beauty that's within you. Thank Him for the beautiful shades of brown that we have in our community so that we can raise our daughters up with that same beauty within them, knowing that they are worth to know their worth, so that they'll know that they're worth more than gold. Matter of fact, the Bible says that women are worth more than rubies. We're worth more than rubies. So therefore, if we're worth more than rubies, we got to know our worth. We can't keep putting ourselves on the clearance rack. We can't keep letting people mark us down. We got to continue to walk in the glory and the beauty of what God has given us. Walk in your feminine power. Walk in the beauty and treat yourself well. Treat yourself well, because you are a queen. You deserve the finer things in life. They were put here just for you to enjoy. We got to understand who we are and know our worth so that we won't just continue to keep, I'm just going to say, call the thing a thing. A Mercedes costs what it costs. You cannot take a Mercedes and mark it down. So stop letting people mark you down. Stop putting yourself on the clearance rack just to be with somebody or to be in somebody's presence. Because I've never seen a queen get off her throne and chase nobody nowhere. Nowhere. You are a queen and you need to move as a queen. You need to carry yourself as a queen. It doesn't matter if you're from the country or if you're from the city, because country girls, they do a lot of different things. And let me tell you what they do that's different. A lot of time, country girls, because of where they are, they have chores that they have to do that are different from what a city girl does. A city girl may not have no cows, she may not have no horses, she may not have no chickens, she may not have none of that in the city. And then sometimes even in the city, they city girls, but sometimes their backyard, they might got a chicken or two back there. But truly, in the country is where basically you see all these things and all these animals that need to be taken care of, and all the chores of the farm that needs to be taken care of. But yet and still, on the weekend, that woman that's out there doing all these things, she loves to dress up too. She loves who she is too. She loves to put her high heels on too. Even if she puts her boots on, she puts them on with class. She may wear a cowgirl hat. She may wear a cowgirl skirt, but she still is a woman, and she still has her own beauty that she's walking in, and she still has her own power, and she still loves herself. So that city girl, she may put on a gown, she may put on her high heels, she may have a lot of the name brand things, but just because this girl lives in the country don't mean she don't have none. So we really have to pay attention. Sometimes you look at the difference, and you look at the outer exterior of a person, and you start judging people by what they look like on the outside. I tell men all the time, stop looking at how she gonna look in your jeans and start looking at how she gonna look in your future. Because see, they'll start chasing women by the way they look on the outside, and then they'll get upset, and they'll be coming back to mother saying, "Evangelist, I dated this woman, and this would happen, this would happen, this would happen." But yet still they knew that she was not a woman of purpose. They knew she was not walking in purpose. They knew that she was unsaved. So they didn't give her a chance. But yet these are men of God. The men of God sometimes do have eyes that they are not seeing in godly fashion, and they'll look at the city girl and they'll look at the country girl, and they'll have them fighting amongst each other when truly both of them are beautiful women. They just don't know it. They don't know their worth. So you don't have nobody putting you out there having you act all out of character when you know who you are. When you know who you are, you demand your respect, and you get your respect, and you move in such a way that your respect is all. It's just like saying they would never ever try to take you out of character, because they know that you will always walk the respect that God given you. Because when you start talking about city girl versus country girl, one thing for sure, both of them are still women. Both of them are still women. No matter how you say it, you could say country girl, you could say country female, city girl, city female, city wife, country wife. Regardless, they are still women. They're still women. And if they're not walking in purpose, and don't know their worth, they will be ran over. They will be taken for granted. Men will take advantage of them. And so therefore, we got to make sure that we're teaching our daughters, and that we're raising up women of purpose, women of destiny, women that actually understand who they are and know who they are, so that they'll be able to be that wife when that man finds her. Because the word said when a man finds the wife, he finds the good thing. So in order for him to find a good thing, you cannot be out there fighting your sisters in Christ. You can't be out here walking with jealousy, envy, and strife. You got to know who you are. You should not be jealous of any other woman on the face of this earth. Why? Because you are unique all by yourself. God created only one of you. There's only one of you. There's no carbon copy of you walking around. There may be some cheap imitations, but they'll never be you. They can try to fake it. They can try to pretend. They can try to even talk like you. They can try to walk like you. They might even try to dress like you. But truly, there's only one of you. You will always be the original of you. So that's a beautiful thing right there. And that should keep you walking in purpose, and that should keep you knowing your worth, and that should keep you from allowing people to mark you down and put you on the clearance rack, because of the fact there's only one of you. They can search the whole world over, and they would never find another queen like you. You just got to stand still and stand and know who you are, and stay in position, and allow God to connect you. Excuse me. And allow God to connect you with the person that you're supposed to be with. Because when the word says we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, you should not be out there fighting and tussling with another woman over no man. You should not be tussling with another woman over material things. You should not be out there being upset because somebody has something more than you, or something better than you, or you think that her house or her lifestyle looks better than your lifestyle, because you don't know what's actually going on in that house. You're looking on the outside, looking in, but you don't know exactly what she's experiencing in that house. Sometimes they could have the big house, they could have the big car, but they could be in there crying and need your help. They could be in there afraid to come up out of there, where they in there just got to be beat down and in a corner where they just being taught to sit down and shut up. You don't know what you're being jealous of. Everything sometimes is not all that it pans out to be. Some people are living in misery. You got so many people now that are actually married, and they're married and they're miserable. They're married and they're miserable because they did not wait on God, and they married the wrong person. So when you see another woman and it looks like she's got more than you, or you see her driving a better car than you, just another thing, don't get jealous of those things. It's not good to covet every somebody else's stuff. It's not good. The Bible teaches us not to covet. So don't do that. Know that you are content with the things that God has given you, and you will begin to grow, and those things will begin to show up in your life as well, if you would just seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and those things shall be added on to you. Why? Because if you continue to stay in the righteousness of God, and you continue to keep praying, you continue to keep doing what he has called you to do, there are some things that are attached to you that will show up that you didn't even have to pay for, that you didn't even ask God for, that you have been praying for. You don't even know when they came, but they're just there. So you got to understand that there's timing. It's not God's timing is not your timing. His ways are not your ways. So attacking the city girl attacking the country girl, it's just not good. It's just not good. because you both are still women, and you're beautiful women, and you got to know that you're beautiful just the way you are. It doesn't matter to me what somebody else looks like. It doesn't matter to me what size she is. It doesn't matter to me what kind of clothes she wears, what kind of house she lives in, what kind of car she lives in. I thank God for everything that God has given me. What I have is what God has given unto me. Remember, the word teaches us that God owns the land and the fullness thereof. Everything in this earth belongs to him. And because I understand that, there is nothing that I can't ask my Father for that he, or have I asked him for, that he has not given to me. And everything I lost, he came through with an upgrade. So I just want y'all to know that you do not have to walk through this life. All you got to do wanting things, all you got to do is pray about it. The word says also that if you believe it, you can achieve it. And if you walk like you already have it, then it's yours. So you got to understand, according to his righteousness and glory, his righteousness, and to his righteousness and glory, depending on how you walking upright, you just got to stay in your word. Stay before the Lord. Just labor before the Lord and continue to keep praying for these things. Pray for these things, but do not attack your sisters. Do not come after the next sister because of the fact that you feel like she's accomplishing more than you, or she has more than you, or maybe you feel like she's ahead of you in life and she should not be. It's not your call. It's not your call. You cannot stop the blessings of God on nobody else's life. You will make yourself miserable for the rest of your life because your arms are too short to box with God, sweetheart. Your arms are too short to box with God. If God is blessing someone, you need to just get excited about it. Just get excited. And if you can't say hallelujah, just say ouch. Just say ouch. If you can't be a blessing and you can't praise the fact that God is in the blessing business and he's blessing his people, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, because we're living in a time now where we cannot fight against each other. And I'm going to read the word for you one more time. The word says, Ephesians 6:12 says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." So these demons and these spirits that are walking all over the place, they ain't got nothing to do with me and you, sister. They ain't got nothing to do with me and you. I love you. I love all my sisters out there. I want y'all to be blessed. I want you to prosper as your soul prospers. And I want you to be okay, first and foremost. But just know, if and so you're not okay, it's okay not to be okay, and know that I'm here if you need me. I am one that will listen. I'm a very good listener, and I love to be making sure that my sister's mental health is well taken care of, as mine is, because there may be a time that I may call you. There may be a time that I may turn these lines on, and I may need a sisterly love, a sisterly hug, a sisterly prayer. The word teaches us to pray one for another. I love you. I'll be praying for you. Y'all stay blessed. And country girl, city girl, we're both beautiful. Be blessed.